I'm Kristen Nedopak, and welcome to Fight Class. Each episode, we recreate a fight scene from one of your favorite films, TV shows, or cult classics. Now, the action sequence we're going to be doing this episode is from a little movie you might have heard of. It's definitely a classic called Hook, starring Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman. And we're just in time to help celebrate the film's 20th anniversary this year since its debut back in 1991. Now, this film is very near and dear to our hearts because the fight choreography was created by our very own Jan Bryant and Dan Speaker. Aside from the live-action film Hook, Jan Bryant and Dan Speaker were movie swordmasters on the films Hidalgo, Army of Darkness, Hot Shots Part 2, and Master and Commander.
How about a timeout, matey?
Let's take our experts down memory lane to see what it was like working on the film, and we're going to do so in a very special location. We're at the Sword and Stone in Burbank, California, where they make a lot of the bladed weapons for the movie industry, right? And so they've actually made the weapons for the scene that we're going to do from Hook.
That's right.
So what are the weapons we're going to be using in our scene?
Well, there's a hook.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think I got that.
we actually do fight with the hook.
The hook was actually practical and we fought with it. We also had what is known as a small sword for Captain Hook because it's a very elegant weapon from the late 1700s. Peter Pan had a dagger, short sword. It was called the Peter Pan sword.
You guys had to choreograph Dustin Hoffman with a hook.
That's correct.
How
Yes.
difficult was that?
Well, originally we trained him to fight with a sword with two hands because we knew that he was going to have to fight both with the hook and with the sword. And we had a really interesting discussion right at the beginning of the production with Steven Spielberg and the writer, Jim Hart, about which hand the hook should be on. Dustin was very good with the blade in his right hand, so we made the hook go on his left hand.
I'm super excited to do this scene, but before we do, we have a very special guest for you guys, the man behind the hook. Not Dustin Hoffman, of course. We couldn't get him for this episode, but we've got the man that actually created this amazing, fabulous prop, the hook itself. Tony Swat in Master Armor, which is like the coolest job I've ever heard of.
It's kind of wild. Yeah, I enjoy what I do.
Well, you've been in the industry forever. What movies have you worked on?
Well, a lot of them. One of my first ones was Hook, obviously, and we'll be talking about that. But I've done swords for Pirates of the Caribbean and Master and Commander, and recently for Thor, and then armor for Sucker Punch.
Well, let's talk about the hook. So you forged, what goes into making the hook?
Well, I'll show you a little later, but this is all made in sheet metal with silversmithing techniques. This is actually made out of sterling silver. The hook itself is forged out of steel, and I'm going to take a big bar of steel underneath the power hammer with a forge, propane forge, heat it up and smash it under the hammer and then bend it to shape, and then I'll polish it up and you'll see how I make the hooks. It's done, but this one disengages.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, here you
I
go.
want to touch the hook. I feel like this is just a relic. I mean, this is what, 20 years old now?
20 years old,
20
yeah.
years old. It's the hook. Well, I'm going to give this back to you. So I'm ready to train. I don't know about you guys. We got our hook. Thank you so much for
You're
talking
welcome.
with us. And let's go get badass. We're back here on the Fight Class set, ready to train. And as always, we're breaking the training up into several sections so I can learn and you guys can follow along. We've got our masters here. Now, I'm going to be playing the role of Peter Pan, and Dan is going to be playing the role of Captain Hook. You got the hook here, and this isn't exactly the hook that we saw at Tony's.
Oh, right, no, Tony made this. This is a rehearsal hook. This is what we would have used to train Dustin and Robin. They didn't let us have the big picture hook that was so expensive to beat up with swords. No, we had to save that for when we were actually shooting. Rehearsing, we used one just like this.
Well, are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Ready for what?
Let's go.
The first section, Hook is being terrorized by these clocks, but you're taunting him. You're taunting him. So you jump in behind him and you do the Peter Pan stance with your hands on your hip, and you say, tick-tock. Oh, first you get his attention by saying, hello.
Hello.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Hook's afraid of an old dead croc. He goes for your shoulder, you parry 3. Then you carry his blade around in what we call a bind. It's a half circle from here down to here, 3 to 7, and expose it. And at the same time as you say that, I think, nuts. Then you have to attack on every line now. So you're going to attack. I'll tell you the lines in a second.
All right.
You're going to attack to his shoulder and advance. So you're going to unweight the toes, reach the heel forward, and bring your back foot underneath you and attack his shoulder. Then you're going to attack his flank. Then you're going to attack his groin. And then you're going to lunge and cut to his head. Nice position here. He's going to bind out and away, and at the same time as he does that, let's go back to just that. As he does that, you're going to, whoa, come back to this squared off position.
Now, when you lunge, what is that called? What's the
It's called a
move?
lunge.
Oh, it is. It's really that easy, people. It's
Yes.
called a lunge. Hello. Tick tock, tick tock. Hook's afraid of an old dead croc. I think not. All right, I
Yes.
forgot the rest.
Now we're going to do part 2. Okay. So from here, afraid of time ticking away, boom, and you get out of the way. Woo! Oh no! Out of the way.
Oh, this is Braun again.
Yes,
It's
like
an
Braun.
evasion.
So after you do your 2 evasions, boom, boom, he's going to stab at your belly, but instead of using your sword, you get to kick the blade with what we call an inside crescent kick. Turn all the way around.
Uh-oh, this is going to be tricky.
That is going to be tricky.
My
And
belly.
lunge and cut to his flank.
He's making funny faces and you guys can't see it.
I never make funny faces.
Show it, show it a
Never.
bit.
Recover. And
then
away.
Braun evasion.
And
Braun
away.
We got a tip.
And now
All
you-
right. Uh-oh.
Now you're going to kick.
Uh-oh.
He's going to stab at your belly. And you go, oh no. That's right.
What?
So this is section 3, dubbed the spinning section. I think this is going to be the hardest section.
Yeah. Well, you have to be able to spin and turn and spot
And fight and all that stuff.
Come back. Here we go.
It's always
All
messing
right.
around.
I was enjoying that.
You've attacked his flank. He pushes in to core, body to body, and he can't use his sword now because it's too long for him to stab me with it here. So he turns and tries to catch me in the face with the hook, and I use my sword to block it out of the way. And then from here, again, he's going for you, but now you're going to take it out in a 2 parry, and then he's going to turn one more time, and you're going to go, block. And then because you're all tied up here, he's going to try and stab you in the belly and you're going to block it in a 1. Then he's going to be sneaky and try to stab you behind his back because it doesn't matter that he's that close. For this, he tries to stab you. This is where he could really get you, so you have to push the hook in the way to block it.
And you're
Spin.
stuck.
Spin out of the
Uh-oh,
way.
spin. Bruce Lee moves.
And now you are in position to flip the hat off his head because he is completely bound up.
You're stuck.
His hook is bound onto his sword.
Na, na, na,
So you
na,
go
na,
here.
na.
And you flip the hat off his head. This is the 4th section. After
Okay.
you've gotten rid of his hat, he attacks your chest. You parry in 4. You double envelop 1, 2, and you disarm him.
Shuck
and you
that
go,
baby.
ha-ha, I have got you now. Well, you don't say that, but do that with your
It's
stance.
indicated. I think I know almost everything there is to know about this fight, so I'm ready to do it. I even have myself a Peter Pan-ish costume. So let's do this. Hello! Tick-tock, tick-tock, Hook's afraid of an old dead croc. I think not. Looks like James Hook's afraid of time. Taking it away! Tick tock. All right, give me that hook. It's mine. See ya. The hook is mine now. I won it fair and square. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I beat Dan every time. Now, it's kind of rigged, but what are you gonna do? Well, now I want to show you guys how the swordmasters do it. So here's Dan and Jan doing an extended version of that fight. Check it out.
No pain, no gain, James. Oh! Hello! Tick-tock, Hook's afraid of an old dead croc. I think not. I think James Hook's afraid of time. Tick tock.
Okay, you guys are way too much fun, and you make this look so easy.
Well, we've had a lot of practice.
I know, right? And what is he? Okay, I thought that I took that hook. Give me the hook. This is
Excellent.
mine. This is mine. Well, if you guys want to learn all of these moves, like from Hook, you can find these guys at the Academy of Theatrical Combat, and you can find out more information about that on theatricalcombat.com. As for our next Fight Class episode, we have something super cool in mind for you, but we can't tell you what it is because it's a surprise.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. We like our secrets.
What
And
is
you're
it?
just going to... He doesn't know what it is, but you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. We know what it is. So you guys can find us online on Twitter at Fight Class, and you can find me at Nedopak. I'm Kristen Nedopak. Thanks for watching Fight Class. Ooh, wait,
Hook.
I got to put it. Bye.
Bye.